Hey, what's going on guys? How is everybody doing? In today's video, we'll be going over several team comps for Albedo. This bioalchemist has come up from way down under and being underestimated to being one of the most universal supports in the game. Albedo can be what I like to call a filler hero. If you have a solid 3-hero team and aren't sure who you should choose as a 4th, Albedo almost always will be a solid choice. We'll be taking a look at what elemental reactions we'll want to make a priority when choosing teammates, the elemental resonances we can take advantage of, and several team comps that will utilize Albedo's Geo element to help boost the damage of his teammates. We'll be discussing team comps from the best of the best to those easily accessible to free-to-play players. And real quick, before we begin, I want to let you guys know of a new idea I'm going to be trying with this series. So, many of you in the comments have been asking for specific hero builds within certain team comps, and while I appreciate all the interactions and questions you guys give me, sometimes I just can't get to all of them. So, what I'd like to try and do with this video is in both the description of this video and pinned in a comment below, I'll have a poll posted with each of the teams highlighted in this video. I'll then make a follow-up video to this one highlighting the highest rated team that you guys vote on, artifact builds, weapons, and gameplay. So if there's a certain team you want further information on, please don't forget to vote in the poll so that way I can give you guys the information that you're most looking for. Now without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Geo as a support element is a bit of an enigma, as it doesn't provide any real support in terms of reactions. In fact, the only reaction it gives us access to is Crystallize, and when it comes down to it, Crystallize doesn't really give any meaningful benefit on its own. The shields it generates are weak at best and are not even close to a reaction to specifically build around like Melt or Superconduct. The only significant aspects we can take advantage of here is using Crystallize to power our 4-piece archaic Petra support builds, or when using a dual Geo core gaining a 15% attack damage boost when the active hero is protected by a shield. At the time of posting this video, 1.3 hasn't been released yet, but with the potential buffs coming to the Geo Resonance, adding a resistance debuff for Geo damage, this looks to increase Albedo's importance on a Geo-focused team, or one that utilizes a Geo core to further boost the damage of your main carry. We can also potentially gain performance from a Pyro Resonance, however, the scaling of this performance will depend on how you build your Albedo. For further information on how Albedo works using defense or attack, check out my full Albedo guide, link will be in the top right. For the teams we'll be talking about today, I'm going to keep this guide a bit more general than I do normally, since Albedo's teams don't normally rely on him as a hero specifically, kind of the opposite of Chongyun on a Diluc team. For support units, I think it's much more important to learn the how when it comes to team building as opposed to the who. So we'll be taking a look at his team comps more in terms of his role. I'll also go over several teams that utilize him to support a Geo carry. First up, we have a team that focuses on using Albedo for his Geo Resonance. In this type of comp, I like Zhongli most as a secondary Geo support unit. This core excels in AoE Geo damage and stands the most to gain from the potential 1.3 buffs. Both of these units have exceptional uptime on their bursts as their energy cost is so low. In addition, both of their skills do passive Geo damage over time, leading to easy and consistent Crystallize triggers, allowing us to keep our Resonance bonus up for long periods of time. We could also slide either Ningguang or Geo MC here for a more budget-friendly build, but because of how we'll be forced to build our last 2 slots, I really like having access to Zhongli's shield alongside our Crystallized shields to reduce the need for a dedicated healer. For our other 2 slots, we'll need a carry and a support, one that synergizes well with our main DPS. Ideally, we'd also need to look at the support as a healer as well, since we don't have a healer in either of our 2 Geo units. A few examples of cores that I really like here are Bennett and Jinyan, where either of these 2 can be your carry, Razor and Diona, or Kaya and Xingqiu. The goal here is to find a team of 2 that works very strongly together and supplement their damage with a whole lot of AoE Geo damage that you don't have to work very hard to manage. The next build will be a bit more focused and give Albedo more of a dedicated purpose, this of course being utilized as a Petra support. Here we're looking to increase the damage of a particular element, so having a DPS core that does a lot of elemental damage will be crucial to maximizing the additional utility Albedo helps to provide. Albedo will be a more active hero on this type of team comp, as he will need to be the one to collect the crystallized crystals to proc his Petra bonus. Common cores that work really well here are Diluc and Bennett, Keqing and Fischl, Child and Xingqiu, or Kaya and Chongyun. Since Geo and Anemo can't react together, the Petra build will not be cohesive with an Anemo carry such as Jean or the upcoming Zhao. For our last slot, I'm a big fan of a Veneer support, Venti being my favorite for this role. Since we can't infuse Geo, we'll have a 100% success rate in reducing the enemy's resistance to our main DPS element type, and don't have to worry about managing aura elements as we would on mixed element teams. This does, however, only work in high-level content if your main element support has healing capabilities though, as this would normally be our healer role. So we could put Jean here if your main element support can't heal. If you find that both of these are untrue, however, your support can't heal and you don't have Jean, fill the slot as you normally would with your healer of choice that synergizes well with your main carry. You'll lose some of your damage and crowd control from not using a Veneer support, but what good is extra damage if your team can't survive? Next, I want to discuss Albedo as a Geo support to two specific carry units, the first being Zhongli. Zhongli's build can go either way between physical or Geo damage, but I think as a carry it makes much more sense to build him for physical damage, which means that his best support units will be ones that can proc Superconduct, where one of these is a healer. My choice would be Beidou and Diona, as we don't currently have an Electro healer, we have to look at Cryo for our heals. I prefer Diona to Chi-Chi as I find her cryo application much more consistent and much better at bursting down Fatui shields. She also has the benefit of creating a shield herself, which will help sustain our Geo Resonance boost. Because of the abundance of shields we'll be generating on this team, Chi-Chi's heals are simply overkill. I've been a big fan of Fischl for a long time, but I think on this team comp specifically, Beidou synergizes better overall. Her burst and skill can provide consistent electro application, but at Constellation 1 she's able to create a shield when she uses her burst, which will further synergize with our Geo Resonance. She also adds a Claymore to the team, which will add some utility when it comes to breaking shields, as some shields can be straight walls for Zhongli and Albedo, like from a Geo Slime. Finally, we have our team build dedicated to Ningguang. In order to maximize her damage, we'll be looking to prioritize a Pyro Resonance on top of our Geo Resonance. The best in slot heroes here will be Xinyan and Bennett. Xinyan could be swapped for Zhongling as a more free-to-play option, though Xinyan does provide more utility, being able to create a shield herself, playing into our Geo Resonance. This team is overall much weaker at creating shields than our Zhongli team, but we are balancing that out by having the extra attack boost from our Pyro Resonance and the insane attack increase we can get from Bennett's burst. If building this team for Abyss though, make sure to keep in mind the shields you'll have to break and make adjustments accordingly, even if that means breaking up the Pyro Resonance. Swapping in a Diona or Xingqiu instead of Xinyan could make sense if you need to face an Electro or Pyro Fatui, for example. Always make sure to keep context in mind when building a team, as opposed to using these guides as end-all be-alls. Hopefully you guys have found this team guide useful and it will help you in deciding which heroes to move forward and build. Remember to vote in the poll below for which team you want to see a further breakdown for. If you liked what you saw and want to see more content from me, head over to my Twitch page, twitch.tv/xjazzy, or you can help support me right here on YouTube by clicking the red subscribe button, like the video if you liked it, and hitting the notification bell, that way you never miss a video. And if you guys want to join our community over on Discord, link will be down in the description below. But guys, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.